To our Ultra VP Virtual Pinball Machine, also referred to as a digital pinball machine. A lot of you have misconception about what a virtual pinball machine is and just in general what goes into one of these. So this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go over the different features and show you why this particular Ultra VP model is by far the very best one you can currently purchase in the United States commercially. And commercially is the key word here. There are a lot of people that will build these in the garage and it takes them a long time to do, and they do not pay attention to proportions, to the size of the cabinet. Ours, as you can see, has the exact proportions of an original machine. It's also the same size. In fact, it's a little bit bigger than most original mechanical pinball machines, because what we do is we utilize actual 4K industrial strength Ultra HD monitors. We do not use TVs. So what that helps us to do is to get an edge-to-edge design. As you can see, there is absolutely no border, no bezel anywhere. All you see is a clear, crisp 4K display here for your play field. More importantly, you have a 32-inch back glass monitor that's also a 4K screen, and it will flip and change graphics as you change tables. Now let's talk about tables, because that's where a lot of people don't get it. This is not an attempt at replacing a mechanical device or pinball. This is an attempt at keeping the legacy of pinball alive in one machine. So you literally have hundreds and hundreds of tables that you can select from and play. There's just no end to it, as you can see here with the menu. And we're talking new machines as well as old style machines, and Zen Studios Pinball Effects 3 machines. So every time you switch the play field, the back glass will also switch. Sorry about the video, because as you can see, it doesn't represent the pictures very well. So, all right. So that's very important to understand. The other thing that's crucial about this Ultra VP is that we have it fully DOF enabled. What does that mean? If I load up a game like this Playboy machine from 1979, what's going to happen is it's going to load it, and we will end up with the ability to use the plunger here, just like a real plunger, and it will respond immediately on the digital play field. So as you can see, if I pull back the plunger, you can see how it automatically pulls back immediately on the play field as well. That's what we call a digital plunger. What we've also done is we've integrated solenoids, 10 of them actually, so that when the ball hits these bumpers here, as well as the flippers themselves, you can hear the original noise and vibrations. We've also put in a shaker motor right here underneath inside of the cabinet, and that shaker motor will activate whenever there is an arm or anything mechanical that activates on the play field. So that's pretty cool and really awesome. The coin door actually works. You can put quarters in, and it comes with a key. You can open it, and right here is a mechanism where you can adjust for various currencies, and of course you can disable the coin button if you want to. This is a coin button down here if you want to make sure that people have to pay quarters in order to play. The lock bar here, this lock bar is a real lock bar. So when you open up your front coin door, there's a lever right under here that you pull, and then you can lift this lock bar straight up in order to remove the glass and clean it just like a mechanical unit. In addition to the plunger, we have a launch button underneath. Some of the tables require that launch button, like Star Trek tables do not even use the plunger. So that would be one of the important features. Another thing is any tables that require a fire button, we have it programmed to the launch button or to the secondary flippers that are here. As you can see, we have two different ones. The front ones obviously are the ones that you would use all the time. The secondary one our MagnaSave buttons for those who understand what that means, and then also fire buttons for certain tables. This cabinet is extremely sturdy. It's built just like an original table, and the artwork that is available is, we have over 100 different artwork choices for you to choose from, be it original artwork design like the Monster Bash that I'm showing you here that we can apply, or we can also create custom artwork to match your interior or sports team or company name or whatever, and that is included in our price. And so is shipping, by the way. Worldwide shipping is included in the price of this Ultra VP. As you can see here, this Playboy table does not make use of the DMD screen in the middle because it's too old. All right, so what's going to happen is your scores are going to display digitally on the back glass right here when you play, and it's not going to be displayed in the DMD. So when I do some gameplay demos, you'll see both ways. Let's talk about sound for a moment. We have integrated sound into the cabinet. So if we go underneath the cabinet, what you're going to find is a subwoofer right here, and of course LED strips all the way around the perimeter underneath the cabinet. And we also have these LED strips behind the back glass portion of the cabinet these days. So that's going to give you the sound quality that you want. These speakers here that we have are high quality speakers with really thick magnets in order to give you the quality of sound needed to make this the very best virtual pinball machine available. Let's talk for a minute about lighting. We already went over the fact that we have light strips under the cabinet, and those light strips actually go off. They're game controlled. So on this Ultra VP, they're not static, they don't just cycle, they're actually game controlled. So depending on which table you load and depending on gameplay, you'll see different colors flash underneath the cabinet, behind the cabinet, and then of course we have the flashers up here. As you can see, the whole play field is slightly recessed under the glass top that we have, and that recess allows us to put 5 flashers on the back. And these are RGB flashers, so they have 16 million colors. And when I launch the ball,
Player 2.
so as you can see, they go off, right? So we're gonna do that one more time just to show you what that looks like. There you go. See. So those are the LEDs. Now on video, you see a lot more. There you go. So
The tale of the flying horse.
okay, very well. So that's an added dimension of gameplay that is unavailable on mechanical units, and personally I enjoy that a lot. Alright, I've dimmed the lights a little so you can see a little bit better what the menu looks like. So I'm going to just shift through some of the games that are available. Again, like I mentioned before, these are about 150 some favorites of mine, but there are literally over 1,000 tables that have been recreated for digital pinball. These are all the Pinball Effects tables that are Star Wars themed. And now we get back to the visual pinball tables like Superman, Star Wars Trilogy, the original, the 1992 Star Wars table, Star Trek The Next Generation, the 2012 Stern Star Trek Enterprise Limited Edition, Star Trek 25th Anniversary Edition, Spider-Man, a variety of different ones, the Stern table, in a variety of versions, South Park. This would be a good example of a really old 1974 recreation, Shrek, Scared Stiff from 1996, Safecracker. That table exists in both Pinball FX as well as very visual pinball, so it's kind of interesting to see side-by-side gameplay on that. I'm not going to go through the whole collection, this gives you an idea of how many of these tables are out there. If you want a full list, just ask us in terms of what's currently compatible with the Ultra VP, because of course the tables that you want on the Ultra VP need to be fully DOF enabled so that all the features that we just discussed actually work on it. But as you can see, it's a very clean design. This table is really incredible. It's beautiful. Edge-to-edge design, 4K monitors, not TVs, and everything that you would want for the full force feedback to be felt when you play, including nudging, of course, and all the lighting. Another classic called Old Chicago. NFL tables, actually all 32 teams are on there. Fast Break, NASCAR, Mustang. This is the actual table Monster Bash that matches the artwork that we have on this one. Metallica, Medieval Madness, both Visual Pinball and Pinball Effects versions. What's neat about Pinball Effects is that they actually incorporate animation in the on the tables. So static figurines like the dragon that used to be static and plasticky, they actually look animated. A bunch of different Marvel tables here. Lethal Weapon 3, Last Action Hero, Kingpin, Junkyard, Jokers. This is the table I used to own as a child, Jack in the Box. It's very well recreated and it feels just like the original. It even has the humming sound on the flippers when you hold the flippers. And then we're going to get to Hurricane. That's a really good table. The Getaway 2, High Speed, which was the predecessor. Who doesn't like the Haunted House table, because that thing has dual play fields. Ghostbusters is extremely well done. Funhouse, Nightmare on Elm Street, Fishtails, 2 versions, Firepower 2. And again, there are more tables on here, it's just this is my favorites list. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do some gameplay now. Alright, so Elvis Presley first. Remember, nudging is supported. No lag whatsoever. All right, we're going to switch over to another table. So this is Cyclone, and as you can see, this is a 4K recreated table. Very, very detailed, beautifully done. Very fast gameplay. And you can see by the way, the flashers can be switched off. Okay, so if you don't like the flashers on the back, there is a button to switch those off. Same with the LED lights, everything that we have, including the solenoids and the shaker motor. All of those can be switched off individually with a button. It's another thing that makes this unit incredible. All right, I'm going to switch over to another table. This is the creature from the Black Lagoon table. Here we go. The intelligence of each table is literally they took the original ROMs off the pinball tables, so it reacts and plays exactly the same way as the original. All right, so this is Circus Voltaire, a Bali table. I'm going to show you what that does on the sides here. When it first loads up, you can see the whole bottom of the cabinet is glowing green. And as we play, those colors will shift based on gameplay. So I'm going to put it back and we'll give you some gameplay on this one as well. This one actually requires an adjustment where the DMD actually needs to be displayed, but that's something we will be fixing soon. But I wanted to show you this one because it's extremely colorful.
I am the Ringmaster. Defeat me for the Ringmaster Marvel. Stop that.
Oh, nearly got it up the ramp. Not easy to play at an angle here. All right, next table. Okay, so this is one of the ACDC tables on here. This table alone is worth the purchase price of this machine. It's incredible. So now we get to shoot.
Hit the fire button to fire again.
So I use my secondary flipper to shoot, as I mentioned earlier. And let me demonstrate nudging. So I'm going to hold the ball here for a second. And as you can see on the bottom, if I move the table, I push the table, the ball nudges. It moves. All right, so this is Twilight Zone. Let me show you what I'm talking about when I'm talking about digital nudging here. So it's not digital nudging, sorry, the digital plunger. So you have your plunger here, as you can see. This is your representation of the plunger, and this here is the physical plunger. So as soon as you pull back, because it's digital in nature, it will pull back on the screen. This is important for skill shots. Okay, so that's also one of the features of this cabinet. I'm going to put this back, and we're going to go ahead and give you some gameplay on Twilight Zone. Wasn't quite fast enough here. All right, let's try it again. Well, that wasn't very good. All right. This is one of the very newest Williams tables. It's Tom and Jerry. It's one of my favorite tables, actually. And as you can see on the back, the DMD is in full color. So you have a blue line and purple numbers. And as you can see, some tables take advantage of the flashers more than others. This one just uses it sparingly. So I just locked one of the balls. I'm going to go ahead and shoot up the second ball. All right, so that's Tom and Jerry. Another one of my favorites, the Simpsons Pinball Party. That's a stern table. And we can get started here on this. Oh. And I just nudged it so that it would bounce off these side bumpers a little bit more.
Expired milk.
All right, I'm gonna let that go. This is the Addams family, probably one of the most popular pinball tables ever made. Oops, all right, let's try again.
Why, thank you, Lee.
I'm not doing very well on this one. I'll let it run one more time.
Old man.
There we go. Now we're off to the races. All right. All right, so this is Star Trek Limited Collector's Edition, a Stern table that came out not too long ago, and it's one of my favorites again. Very, very cool table. We're gonna get started here.
Welcome aboard.
It's just not my day today, I guess.
Give you one more.
All right. Okay, so this is Old Chicago. And that, I just thought I would show an older table just to give you an idea what that looks like. All right, so game preview wouldn't be complete without Monster Bash, which is what we have as artwork on this cabinet. I'm nudging, there you go. For those of you who are concerned about lag or anything like that, there is no such thing, okay? We utilize good components in here and graphics and video graphics cards, so no need to worry about gameplay being affected. All right. This is the Metallica table. Can't get it in there. There you go. I'm trying. All right. I don't have the sound up very loud here because of the video, of course. These tables are best played with the sound up higher. And you can adjust the sound by opening up the coin door and getting in there. All of this, again, 4K resolution, very beautiful, very detailed. All right. Okay, the last two tables I'm going to demonstrate are Medieval Madness, and the reason why I say two tables, this one here is Visual Pinball, the Visual Pinball version, And then we have the medieval Pinball FX3 version as well. So you'll be able to see how they differ.
I will show you why.
All right, so this is Medieval Madness, the visual pinball rendering. So for those of you who are telling me that virtual pinball and digital pinball don't have any merit, there's actually a dimension that has been added to gameplay on the Zen Studios version of it. You can see on this table the dragon here is static. Okay, it's just like the original pinball table would be. It's not moving. It doesn't have any animation. Whereas the one that they recreated, you'll see that the dragon is literally fully animated. I'm going to play one more ball here, and then we'll switch over to the Pinball Effects version. I know you can't really see the underlights, the LED strips going off with the way I have the camera, but trust me, there is plenty of action under the cabinet and behind the cabinet as well. And I'm talking about color, of course. The drawbridge, I just opened up the drawbridge. And see, if I shake it, there's nothing happening to the drag. All right, I'm going to let it go through, and we'll go to the other one. All right, so this is the Zen Studios version of this table, and I will get it started right now, and you can see that the dragon here is completely animated and moves around constantly. Also, what they've done in the visual version is you can see that it's moving up and down to give us a better view. The drawbridge is open. And the graphics on the Zen Studios tables are really incredible. I mean, they're very, very high quality. As you can see, the DOF works. You can also nudge. There we go. Just destroyed the castle. All right, so that's... I guess I'll do one more bonus table before we go. All right, so the last bonus table here is Masters of the Universe. You can see the neon strips around those ramps. If I can get up there. Alright, I'm going to try to get through that. There you go. That's what I wanted. Whoops. Alright. So that concludes the video. If you have questions, obviously let us know. This unit is fantastic and definitely worth the purchase price, considering that you can recreate and replay all the tables that were ever made in one unit. Ours is special because it is edge-to-edge 4K industrial monitors and fully DOF, full force feedback enabled. All right, so call us, send us messages if you have questions.